light ice.
Just-
Get the fuck out of
I'm
here.
not kidding.
Do you remember whenever he had his Buick and he would always just be like, "Well, it takes premium,
Oh, you're gonna put premium in it.
gas." What are you talking
Yeah,
about?
and then did you hear that whenever he went back and saw his grandpa like years later, and his grandpa he said something about putting premium in it, and his grandpa was like, "Why?"
Why are you doing
He
that?
was like, "Well, you told
You
me
told me to do
He
that.
was like, "No, I didn't." He's like, "I put premium in that car for years for no reason." What an idiot.
Could you also say, in his defense, though, premium back then was like an extra 5-10 cents.
Yeah, they went up.
It was only
It was-
like every
it was
like a
like-
10-cent.
It was like
increment.
over $1 gas is what. he
Now
was
it's like
buying.
what 30 cents
Yeah.
or 25
No, dude.
Back
now
then
it's
it was
now
like
it's crazy.
$1.20, $1.25, $1.30.
Yeah, whenever I got my truck, like I asked the dealer, because I was like, I don't like it doesn't take any kind of like special gas or anything, right? And he was just like, well, it can take unleaded, but if I were you, I'd probably
want to make it
and that's all I heard is if I were you, and then I just trailed off.
Yeah,
I was
sorry.
like, no, that's
Because you know what they
That's
always
all I'm
say
doing.
is the person selling you the car always knows best, and they always do exactly what they say.
Right, because they're very truthful
They're
and honest
very
people.
truthful.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
God, yeah. That guy's dumping like weird fucking used canola oil into his fucking. he doesn't care. He's not putting gas. on
It runs on the same fuel source as the DeLorean in Back to the Future
It smells
too.
like fucking hash browns.
Just like used recycling
He
and
rolls up to Waffle House. And like, "Hey, get the hose."
Always premium, boys. Remember. And you're like, oh shit, that guy doesn't ever fucking use premium. Damn.
He really should. It's a Honda. Why are you using
Need a
premium?
stimulus.
Gas is expensive enough as it is, bro. What are you doing?
Oh,
Ridiculous.
it's too good, dude. Fuck it, eh?
Yeah, so we're here with Justin Davis from the food truck Taco Bombs.
Yeah.
If you've been to the brewery, you've probably seen their truck out here a few times. Justin is also one of our closest friends and has worked behind the bar, currently works behind the bar. And
Some
yeah,
say carrying the bar.
carries the bar.
You can't even see
Look
it
at
right
them
now. It's on his
shoulders.
shoulder, but
Bold,
I've been
He's
working on it.
carrying the
strong. Really. Thank goodness. It's a heavy
yeah, we're happy to have
burden.
Josh back.
This is also Josh's older brother.
There you go.
I could have led with that, I suppose.
I thought, is that the big reveal?
Oh man, we should have
Uh,
waited for the end. That would have been a great twist.
And this is one thing my chair has on your chair is
Yeah.
it has the ability to do this,
I
can
can do
do it.
this.
which also makes me feel really uncomfortable now because I know that you're not the
Getting a little
original
cool.
owner of this chair.
No, there was a
Yeah.
few owners of
Yeah.
that chair.
Oh, yeah.
It's a good chair though.
It's got a
I
good
like
rocking motion, well broken in.
That. It's well broken in.
Yeah. I'll wash-
So is
burn my
this chair,
clothes
to be
after
fair.
this.
Yeah.
I said wash, and I was like, no, I have to
Burn.
burn.
Burn is what I meant.
Yeah, washing that chair was like Febreze. I think that's probably all we ever did to wash it.
Oh no, I don't think it,
Febreze.
yeah.
What's the great value Febreze brand? 'Cause
Yeah,
that's
no,
what it would have
that's
been.
Febreze.
That's for rich people.
We let nature rain on it. It was in
Just set
it was
it
in the
outside.
driveway.
Yeah. I'm more of for poor.
You looked out your window and you're like, oh fuck, I forgot I bought that recliner from the yard sale. Look at that thing getting rained on. I just feel bad for it. I'll get it in 3 days.
Neighbors are like, "Oh, they're cleaning the chair again."
They
They're
were
not
so-
going to clean my dead father off that chair.
They were
know that,
so
right?
close to the curb. They were so close. Something important stopped them from taking it the extra 4 feet to the curb and ending its life. Yeah.
I was good the other way up to the 4
Yeah.
feet. The last 4 feet is
Squirrel.
far too much. I'm keeping it.
Done.
I'm keeping it now. I'm keeping it for another 8 years.
Is that the Schwann's guy? Love him. Is that Harold?
Oh man. But yeah, so how is the food truck business going?
Well, right now it's February, so it's very slow. It's been slow. That's the problem with food trucks is very dependent on weather.
Makes sense.
It's a
If
good
it, if it
time.
rained yesterday, then you do less business today. You know, it's just kind of how
Why?
it works. It's just how it works,
Oh,
man.
okay. People
I-
don't like getting drenched.
No, they don't just like walking outside if there's puddles, I guess.
Well, it is Texas. Yeah.
Can I ask
It
a
gets-
dumb question for somebody that is not in the food truck business?
Yeah.
What is slow? What is slow for you guys? Like maybe is it 5 customers for 8 hours? Is it I mean, I know you guys have to hit a minimum, right? Like that makes you feel comfortable.
Oh yeah.
I don't really necessarily need a number for minimum, but I mean, is it
Well,
you got to pay for your costs?
yeah,
of-
you gotta pay for gas, and just paying. My salary that's the biggest expense. It just is paying people to work, specifically me.
Right,
Because,
labor is always kind of like the
Yeah.
like that's our biggest expenditure here
Yeah,
too.
that's probably
constantly
everyone's
yelling at the staff,
biggest
and you're like,
expenditure.
"We didn't make
Your
$1 million
children?
today. How are we going to pay my salary?"
my staff I don't have to pay because they're my kids.
Yeah,
so
that's
Oh,
nice.
Good.
I do when I
Nice.
can, but if we
Yeah.
don't make any money, they
So
don't get
family
paid.
business.
Hey,
then.
you could tell your kids, hey, it's either this or the cobalt mine. So
I keep telling them I'm gonna send them to Alcatraz. So
luckily they don't have very much knowledge of what that is or that
Yeah.
it's been closed
That's
down
actually
for
going to cost
40
you a lot of
years.
money because
Yeah,
there's a ferry
good
that's only
point.
open like 3 times.
if they figure
Yeah,
out,
those
randomly
tours are
throughout
not
the
cheap.
week,
It's San
yeah.
Francisco.
It's expensive.
So
yeah, by the time they figure out it's an empty threat, they'll already have graduated, hopefully.
Well,
so-
they'll send you a postcard from Alcatraz.
yeah, knowing
you
them,
paid
they'll be
for it.
like Don Dillinger, and they're just out of there. See you later.
Yeah, so I do got to commend you. I think I've been watching more cooking stuff, just trying to get better and learn because I think that it's important. But looking at how you guys do things and putting systems are a big thing for you guys. So how can you kind of walk me through like how you guys came up with taco bombs as a concept and said, hey, this is 3 dishes. But really, the execution part and being able to, because if you do have 100, sorry, that was weird. Your
Graze
skin's
my-
very soft. Is
graze
that
my
oil of
knee.
Olay?
It doesn't get a lot of love.
But to be able to serve 100
It's my
people in
knee.
a crack shot, which would be a dream, right? For that moment, you have to be able to put these dishes out consistently. One,
Mm-hmm.
but you can't just slop it together because you watch like these cooking shows. The kitchen backs up. People are going crazy, slapping tickets. Stuff's getting forgotten. How do you guys keep up with that and practice?
Yeah, I mean, with the busier events, you definitely want to have the most experienced people in specific jobs because, yeah, you have to make sure that your food tastes good consistently, but also presentation is huge for us. So we're not just throwing stuff on a plate or whatever. It has to look good too because we want people when they see it to be impressed because they say you eat with your eyes. That's the first thing is you want it to look good and appetizing. And so yeah, that just kind of comes with experience for the most part. There's no real way that someone off the street can just come in and make something look the way that we want it to look. So that's why if we have new people, like when my kids first started working on the truck, we had to ease them into it because kids are dumb and they don't understand things. And so you have to teach them how to do it and how to do it right. And I'm still teaching them because they're still dumb.
That's a tough habit to kick. I've been dumb my whole life, so that's a tough
Still
one.
working on that one myself.
I'm curious. Okay, so coming up, this is going to be coming out like the second week of March, so right before the anniversary party. We're doing a beer dinner on March 22nd, and I was kind of curious how the creative process works for you guys as far as coming up with whether it's a new taco on the truck. The taco bombs, for people who don't know, you want to explain kind of what a taco bomb is? That's the name of the truck, but what their initial plan, your initial plan
Yeah,
was.
our taco bomb is a fried taco ball. So the only one that we have right now is ground beef, caramelized onions, Mexican blend cheese, and we ball it, and then we batter it in a masa batter, and we fry it, and we serve it on cilantro lime rice. So it's about the size of a golf ball. It's just a little fried taco ball. So we have a patent on it. Like it's the world's first and only that I'm aware of taco ball. So that was just an idea that actually came from Josh, my little brother, like 15 years ago, or it's
Mhm.
probably actually more than that now, but Josh couldn't cook at the time. Well, none of us could cook at the time. But then once we all learned how to cook, me and Will decided we were gonna try it out, try to make it, and we amazingly somehow our first attempt we killed it, and it's the same. It's the same thing that we make today.
That's like the first time we made a hazy IPA, and I was just like, "This is easy."
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
And it's not. It's not. It's such a pain.
That one was hazy. And then
It was a then
next 20 were
it
not.
goes like this the whole time. No, it's funny you mentioned like 15 years ago him coming up with that idea. It's trying to think like, because we all cook now like a ton,
Mm.
all of us, and
right, JP?
I do. I cook.
yeah,
a lot.
he cooks all the
I cook
time.
a lot.
But I was like, man, 15 years ago, let's see, 36, 21, I could make a mean batch of ramen, which is literally boiling shit for 2 minutes and then adding a packet of pre-mixed seasoning.
I think my
and
only
macaroni and
cooking-
cheese. That was about it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we've done mac and cheese forever, but my only like cooking that I did back then was I'd take those like the Bertolli bag, and you just throw it in a skillet put some water in it, and it's like frozen, and then you just wait for it to be ready in the skillet, and you're like, man, this is a good gourmet meal.
Yeah, the perfect amount of
Totino's
salt and
pizzas.
pepper, some obscure other spice you found in the
Yep.
cabinet that
It's
you
all
just
just
thought
frozen
elevated
in
it.
a block. And you throw it in a skillet, and 15 minutes later, you got a gourmet
This
meal.
needs hot
baby.
sauce.
The $1 Totino's pizzas, those
Yeah.
were.
Oh yeah, cardboard.
I've
Dude.
actually, me and Elizabeth have been having Totino's pizza nights, and you will be appalled to find out the price on those now. First of all,
$3.99.
they're not in circles anymore. They're
Oh,
in
they're square?
squares.
Yeah.
Which is strange. But they've literally, inflation is so bad, they've doubled. They're $2 a piece.
Oh,
It's ridiculous.
outrage.
Yeah, I mean, we still got them, but
there's
it's
nothing
ridiculous.
like real in those. Period.
No.
Yeah.
We still need to set up a picket line over
Yeah.
that.
So for
protest.
$2, you're just paying for
$2?
Yeah, $2.
Two?
You're paying for a lot of science to make you a pizza. I mean, I get it. Big science is expensive these
I mean,
days.
yeah, I don't
so-
poop after I eat it, but I don't think that's related.
But you probably don't poop for days.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
fine.
your body's like,
all
what?
gummed up.
I-
Eat more broccoli. Jeez. What are you doing to me?
Anything.
Yeah, we just lived
Something.
off of those little pizzas and the party burritos.
Yeah, those party burritos were
That's
good.
pretty much all we ate back then.
That's right. Dude. Bueno
Physiques
party
like
burritos.
gods, Well, your metabolism's running so fast that
Just drinking heavily every day.
Well,
never
that
got a
hasn't really-
hangover.
Yeah, never grew out of that one.
That one's still gonna define heavy. Yeah, so I know the taco bomb the ball is really what it's put you guys on the map, but you guys transitioned fairly early on because of the labor of producing the ball
Correct.
to making tacos. What was, I mean, outside of the labor, like what was that big transition as far as like customer knowledge and things like that?
Yeah, really. We were only in business for maybe 4 months before we realized there's no way we're going to be able to keep up if we're only doing balls, because the time it takes to produce them is it's a very time consuming process. So we decided if we're ever going to serve larger crowds, we're going to have to pivot out of making just balls and going to street tacos too, because that's way easier to make a big old batch of meat. And all we do with our meats is we'll make a big old batch, and then we just vacuum seal in 2-pound bags, and that way we can use only what we need for certain events, and that cuts down on waste and everything. And so we just put the frozen meats in a sous vide to bring it back to life, and that has been great. I mean, that's the only thing, the only reason why we're able to continue and to work big events. There's no way we could have done only balls. So that was instrumental in getting us to the point that we're at now, where we're able to do large events and things like that.
And how do the customers take knowing that you and Will are not Hispanic in any form or fashion making tacos? Has there
can
been
see
a
the-
lot of talk about that? Because I talk about it all the time.
You can see the look sometimes, for sure.
It's especially
just
difficult.
somebody leaning like, Not one.
We were
in there?
driving down the road one time. I'll never forget it. We're driving down the road, pulling the trailer, and this like old, like 90s Chevy pickup truck with some lawnmowers and stuff in the back. They pull up next to us and start honking, and I look over, and the guy was just like
Ugh.
visibly like he was like, "What the?"
I bet those are terrible.
Wait a second. I was just like, "Hey, I'm white."
That's awesome.
He was visibly confused and concerned. We had one guy at a softball park one time. He was like, a couple white boys cooking tacos. He was a Hispanic guy. And Will goes, "Well, my wife's Puerto Rican." And he goes, "That's even worse."
Are there razor blades in this taco? Is that
No, I'm not going to go there. Sorry.
okay? Yeah,
I was going to
we
make
can
a
cut
really
that.
good
I can
joke.
mark it. I can mark it.
I was going to make a good joke. I'll skip it.
Don't skip the jokes.
You might as well just tell it now.
Yeah,
Curious.
we've gone too far.
I was going to say no, it just means that we make better food.
Ah.
Oh, you didn't say it because it wasn't funny.
No.
Yeah, yeah.
I just didn't want to be rude.
Crickets. Yeah, the buildup. And then when you actually,
I was anticipating
when you
something
actually get the dirt.
way worse.
Yeah, I was like, oh,
way worser.
wow, so you shouldn't have.
I just didn't want to
Uh,
be rude.
Okay.
Yeah,
Glad you didn't say that. That would have been uncool.
Okay, so for
Anyway.
this beer dinner, we're doing 4 courses, right?
Yep.
The appetizer, I don't remember anything that we did. I have a text message of it. Do you remember what we're doing?
What was the first course? Oh, that's our signature deal. Like, so for the last beer dinner, we did the short rib croquettes, which was short ribs and cheese and stuff in a fried ball,
Mhm.
keeping kind of our Taco Bomb identity, in a more gourmet fashion. So we wanted a fried ball in this one too. So the first course is a crab cake bomb. So we're
Mm.
making crab cakes that we are going to bread, or we're going to ball and bread and fry. So it's a crab cake that's going to be in a fried ball.
Cool.
So that way we still have our Taco Bomb's identity in the dinner in a more gourmet sort of environment. So pretty stoked about that one.
Yeah, that'll be really good.
Why don't you guys serve those regularly on the truck?
Can you imagine?
How much-
It'd have to
How
be
much are you charging? For
$45 to make a profit for that.
Oh, what beer should we do for that?
I was
Crab
gonna ask
cake.
that. Yeah. What do you pair with the crab
Probably-
cake?
It's
Is it
probably
going to be any kind of? Is there anything with some? Oh yeah, the second. Okay, I know what we're gonna do for the second course. But the first course, crab
It's
cake.
probably
It's kind of a welcomer,
something-
right?
Yeah,
Pilsy lagery?
yeah. So
probably.
Jarvis will be out by that point in
Maybe.
time. Our German Pilsner, I think.
Yeah.
That would probably go really well with that.
Sounds good to me.
Jarvis would be good.
Comprende would be good.
Rende would
Love me
be
some
fabulous
Comprende.
with that. Domer could work really well with
Yeah.
that. Won't really compete with it. What else? What else do you guys have on the menu?
Okay,
now,
yeah.
now you spark my interest.
Second course. Do you know what it is?
That's the sriracha.
Crispy honey sriracha Brussels sprouts.
So those are going to be kind of fried, crispy Brussels sprouts. I mean, it's
That
pretty
sounds really good, and
self-explanatory.
it'd be a little bit of a kick. So I think we're gonna do Comforting Company.
I can see that. Yeah.
With that one, it's a 6% West Coast IPA with that. It's got the Pineapple Express like terpenes, the weed terpenes in it.
Nice.
No THC in it, just yeah.
Yeah,
but-
I could also see Life working with that dish.
Well, I think life
peppery.
with the
you want
yeah.
to jump? Yeah.
Yeah,
no.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Keep going.
Yeah, so that sounds delicious. The third course hit me.
Third course, that's going to be the main course, right?
Yeah.
Picanha
Mm-hmm.
with the wild mushrooms and the peppercorn sauce.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
What else? There's something else in there.
Wild mushroom medley, peppercorn sauce, and homemade sourdough bread.
Oh yeah, the bread.
I think
right.
that one with life would be really, really
Yeah.
good.
I think that sounds great.
Yeah.
I think also going back to the Brussels, I think you could do highlight. It's kind of a weird pairing, but I think the roastiness from that is just going to kind of have its own identity, where it would just kind of balance out some of that flavor for those, and just kind of a hearty, lighter beer, but a lot of character to it.
I'm thinking for the fourth course doing
Ooh.
highlight.
Yeah, because I could honestly done it for the third course as well. Was highlight
Just
was
throw highlight
immediately-
in with everything.
Yeah, no, that's my. If you can't tell, is what I've been drinking the most of. But yeah, I mean, yeah, it would just add a little bit to that picanha as well. I mean, it's not competing flavor. It's just gonna kind of add. It's very light. Yeah, it's good. It just has its own element and uniqueness to it that be good with it.
Yeah, I mean, I think they would both shine really well together for sure.
I'm really excited about the picanha.
Yeah,
That's my favorite steak.
really
Mm-hmm.
nice.
Nice.
Sounds delicious. Okay, then the fourth course is dessert.
Yeah, that's the white chocolate raspberry cheesecake. That's gonna be awesome.
That's
My-
gonna be good.
My wife makes cheesecakes for us, so she crushed it last year. Or yeah, I guess that still was last
It
year.
was last year, yeah.
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 She crushed it last time, and I'm sure she'll crush it again with this one. She's really good at that.
Yeah, yeah, it was delicious last time. With that one, it's I was thinking maybe highlight would be good. The black
Yeah, I
lager.
could see highlight being a fun one to do
Second
with that.
breakfast could be good.
Second breakfast could
Um,
be really, really good. with that.
Also, during that time, the anniversary beer will be out, and that could be good with it. Which
might
is
be a little. What's the cheesecake flavor on it?
white chocolate and raspberry.
Yeah, yeah, blueberry could play.
Yeah,
well
we're
with it.
doing for the anniversary beer. We're doing a collab with Ingenious, essentially, and I've had 2 barrels of barrel aged stout stored for like 2 years, and they were initially in Old Elk barrel, like single barrel barrels, and then we moved them into Acre Distilling barrels, so it's like double barrel. It's going to be their recipe or like adjuncting of their blueberry crumble. So it's going to be double barrel blueberry crumble
Oh,
collab with
Baby.
Ingenious.
Oh my god.
And that could be a good one to do.
Yeah, that one.
Sounds
Man,
amazing.
Would
you
it
know,
be possible to change it from white chocolate raspberry to white chocolate blueberry?
Heck yeah, we could do that.
Yeah, if they do it that way, I think it'll.
Like maybe like almost like a blueberry graham cracker cheesecake, and then pair it with
Dude.
blueberry crumble.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, but then
I don't mean to shoot from the hip, but I mean that could be if it hasn't been made yet.
it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think we just
but then
created
again, like
something.
sometimes simplicity's best. So maybe just like Echo could be fucking
Nah, it's a beer dinner. I don't want to do that.
just great.
I
Just
want
solid
to
pairing.
go out. Go out. It's the last course with like a bang.
Oh yeah, then definitely do that. Yeah, no, I just think that when you go to these beer dinners, sometimes people try to pair things that are, in theory, a good idea because it's like, okay, I'm gonna pair this raspberry with this raspberry beer, and it's like, well,
Overkill.
cool, maybe
Yeah.
maybe
Put
the
a lot
real
of thought
challenge
into
is
that
doing
one,
it on
did
the
ya?
back end where you're balancing out something that you're gonna make a lot of eventually, right? As a brewer, that just hey, this is how you kind of pair and really showcase because when you're trying to, let's say, for our casuals that come in once a week, we sell single cans, you can buy a single can of any beer we make. Yeah, if they're trying to do something nice, you can do this on a regular basis. If you're making a 3-course meal for your loved one or whatever, yeah, you can. You don't have to necessarily have the raspberry, blueberry, whatever it is, right?
Right.
You can just find the right appropriate style and the right beer that just, man, the beer by itself holds up, but pairing it, sometimes the magic is just unlocked on something. I don't know if you guys have ever done that. You ever been to a beer dinner where you've had that, like you went to the Dogfish Head beer dinner at the.
Well, that was Metal Moss, so it was like everything was insane.
Sure, but I mean, I'm sure they had some kind of opening beer that you've had from Dogfish Head
Right.
a million times. You can recall these times
Mhm.
you've enjoyed, having that beer by itself, but having it paired with, let's say a pork chop that's just done really well. Man, that makes you kind of change your opinion about that beer, and you kind of learn something. Like, I really like the 90-minute with this
Right.
pork
Mhm.
chop, right? So
It's
Just kind
almost
of a
cooler to
weird
do something that
simplicity.
you wouldn't think about
we don't really do it because usually when we go out, hey Justin, Alex, you guys want to meet me, at Ron's?
Let's do 15
We're
shots.
not
and
pairing
then-
our hangout session with like any of our
Right.
conversations.
Right.
I just get Radler at Ron's. That's all I
Yeah,
ever get.
it's
So good.
That's
So good.
Stiegel Radler for the win.
It's
and
Mm.
like 2.5%.
You gotta get a shot.
Give me that.
You ever had it with a shot of gin in it?
No.
You've never done a Stiegel with a shot of gin?
oh, it's better.
Oh, dude.
Well, you bring up the.
It only brings up the ABV from
ABV.
3.2 to like 4.1.
Yeah,
So it's really okay.
Yeah. So you can have a lot.
There we go.
Yeah. But no, I like that. I like going with more simplistic options.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like,
Just because you also don't want to like overcharge the palate and like get blind to it. You
the
know?
food is. That's kind of one of those things where when you're doing a food pairing, you can. I mean, I know that Robert Wynn will do a macaron
Right.
that
Mm.
is made for that. But usually, one thing I've learned from him is he's backing off a lot of the main flavors. Half the time, it's just cake. It's just a cake flavor, vanilla flavor,
Mm-hmm.
and appropriately dosed with the right amount of either orange or whatever it is, and it's gonna partner with that beer. So I get the explosion of what the brewer's going with the beer. I get what the chef is doing with their flavors for the food that they're preparing, right? So
Right.
it's a beautiful medley.
Mm.
So there's no rhyme
I
or
like
reason. I
that.
think you could do whatever you want,
I like that though. Like, and it does help that it's us making the decision. Like, we
Yeah,
can do
yeah.
whatever we want for sure.
Yeah, I think that's
I like
kind of
your
the cool
idea,
thing
though.
because sometimes we've done a lot of plenty of like specialty pairings and beer dinners and whatnot, and 9 times out of 10 when you're over there sweating because you're the MC of the night, right? Because you're like, all right, I'm gonna explain everything, and the chef comes out and just
Dance monkey.
he puts the plate in front of it and stares at everybody, and everyone stares at chef looking for some kind of guidance, right? Some
Right.
one word
What do
that's
we
just
do
going to bring
here?
your life to meaning, and it never happens.
Yeah.
And then you're like, all right, well, thank you, Chef Antoine. You did an amazing job. Boom. All right, let me explain your dish and why I paired it, even though I haven't even had it because it's sitting there now cold,
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pairing it can be challenging. Like you said, you don't want to overwhelm.
Yeah.
So I do think that we'll
You want
before
something
we
to dance.
before we pull the trigger on the blueberry idea. I like the sound of it, but I want to try it first.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I think if done right,
If do right, no
none can defend. I believe wise Josh Davis once said that.
Thank you, Pat. If do right.
This bitch, Pat.
Well, your
Pat.
brother took all the credit for that quote.
Yes.
What?
I think he's got a couple of shirts that say it.
Yeah, that was Gary Goldman. That was
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm really excited about the beer dinner. The first one that we did, I feel like, was a huge success.
More than any of us expected, I think.
Yeah, everybody liked. Everybody's biggest complaints were there was too much food
Too
and
much
too much
food.
beer.
Yep.
So
Where's the problem?
I
So
know,
we're gonna double
right?
the price.
Why don't you guys just be disgusting like me and eat everything 2 times over, and then drive to the wrong house to see your girlfriend?
I mean, you paid to be there. Might as well eat it.
What?
Oh yeah, I didn't tell you the end of that story, did I?
Oh, yeah.
we
You
did. I
just
kept-
dropped off with that, and I was
it
like,
was like,
wait, what?
Did you
yeah, I
really?
went over to Elizabeth's house afterwards, and I parked in the wrong driveway, and I walked up, and I just hear, "What are you doing?"
Oh,
and I was like,
my God. What are you doing over there at your neighbor's house?
"It's a surprise. Don't read into this." And then she goes, "How was the beer dinner?" I was like, "It was fine. It was totally fine. Nothing to report. Actually, everything's cool." Anyways, not allowed to do that anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that sounds like a bad idea.
it was awesome. Yeah, it was hilarious.
I think the problem might have been coming out and drinking with us in between courses.
I was thirsty.
She's not going to watch this, so.
It's not like I was driving. It's
Hi, Elizabeth.
fine.
So we got beer dinner. You said what was the date on that?
March 22nd,
About T2. All right.
3 to 2.
3,
Yeah,
2,
3 to
2,
3
3 to 2.
5.
Yeah,
2,
okay.
2, 2,
Well,
5.
Justin, you said it's a slower time, and I know we can say the same as an industry as a whole. Yeah, I mean, we're not getting the same numbers that we were getting before. We're not seeing the same pull through with their customers. So it's kind of adapting. We're doing a lot of different things this year with the brewery, with just a lot of different products. What do you guys do on the flip side of it? Because, again, we're talking about a beer dinner where food and beer, a beverage, go hand in hand. What are you guys trying to do to kind of evolve or adapt to a situation?
Yeah. So when we first started in 2022, we were going to lots of HOAs because coming out of COVID, that was like a big deal for food trucks going to HOAs because people didn't want to go out to eat and all that kind of stuff. They wanted to just stay home. So that was really kind of the tail end of the HOA sweet spot. And we noticed pretty quick that HOAs were drying up and it was not nearly as good as it was when we first started. So we had to adapt early on from that. I mean, that's the whole, in the last 2 years, going on 3, it's just been pivoting, one time after the next, just trying to figure out how to keep going in the ever-changing market, So we were heavy here at Turning Point and then heavy HOA, and HOA started drying up, so then we started getting in at Truck Yard, but the Truck Yard Alliance location just had recently opened, so that was really good. But then that started drying up, and especially in the summertime because it's mostly outdoors.
Well, it probably didn't help that they were putting you next to it was all tacos.
3 taco trucks.
Yeah.
So
It's like,
We
oh
don't
my
have to go
gosh.
into the management
But-
at that
But
specific
I'm saying,
location.
ideally for you is you're the one serving tacos are covered
right.
for your scenario, and then burgers, pizza, whatever.
Yep.
So
That
you're the
would be
taco guy.
ideal. But that's the main issue with the food truck business in general is just that you're so dependent on other people, whether that be the location that you're going to,
Mhm.
did they promote that we're going to be there or not, and then you have to have the right weather for people to want to come out and do something, do anything, and then you have to have people that don't have their own whatever biases against food trucks. You can see people all the time walking in with, they'll Uber Eats food even though we're sitting right outside. It's very annoying.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's rough.
So it
I
just
get it
being,
though. Sometimes if you're at your favorite place, if you look past the slap to your face,
Yeah.
right. So once the sting goes
Who
away,
cares about that?
you think sometimes you just, hey, if I go to this place, place X, and it's reminiscent of me having this meal, I'm gonna get that fucking meal
Yeah.
and just have my moment.
Yeah.
So,
Get your
yeah.
Chick-fil-A.
I mean,
that's
insult
fine.
you, Justin, but maybe I just want to slurp some pho over here, while I'm
In
sucking
the
down.
hot,
No one's
105
Uber
degree
Eatsing
Yeah,
pho.
no,
sun.
Hey, easy.
Spill it all
Easy.
over
I'm
yourself.
disgusting.
Can I borrow your microwave? This
Yeah.
meat's still
But
raw.
Yeah, but yeah, I could see that being a thing for sure.
Yeah, we had to pivot off of HOAs, and then we started doing more private stuff, catering and corporate events and things like that. And then we started realizing that we don't really, since we're always going to private events, we don't really have a home base,
Gotcha.
And with talking to other food trucks, they're like, oh yeah, we come here, we have our dedicated group of people that come to see us, and I was like, oh, we don't really have that. So now we're pivoting again.
It's kind
you
of
know?
Right.
hard thing to get.
So now we're trying to come to Turning Point more again to try to develop some sort of a home base and a core group of people that come to see us, and we kind of have that building now, which is exciting. So
I think repetition definitely helps with that a lot. Like whenever hey, they're gonna be here, X, Y, and Z. And I'm sure it makes it a lot more difficult for a lot of newer food trucks to kind of get that kind of traction, especially if they're coming to a place like us where we're rotating food trucks every single day.
Yes.
Something new. I mean, obviously with our relationship, we try to get you in as much as possible, but at a certain point, that's not great for you either, to just
Too
be
much.
pigeonholed.
We've done it before.
Yeah, because then our regular customers will be like, well, I had that
tired.
on
That's
Tuesday.
when we
Good.
see it happen. What your scenario of Yeah, they'll walk in with 4 Domino's pizzas,
Mm-hmm.
and you're sitting there, and they're like, "Oh, we knew Justin. We like Justin. We've had his food. We just wanted Domino's."
Yeah, they.
He's here all
It's a
the time.
delicate balance, man. Being somewhere just enough to where it's not too much and people get tired of your food because they've had it a million times.
I will say, unless you are the feature, right? Unless you are at a place and it's like symbiotic in the sense that you are the food, they don't have a kitchen, you're a permanent staple there. You're basically getting a glorified brick and mortar because you're able to just leave your truck there.
Yep.
And so I think nowadays where I'm watching a lot of like food truck people go through, and when I'm out and about, I ask the food truck guys that I eat off of, and I'm like, "Hey, would you like to come to Turning Point?" And they're like,
You
Nah.
eat off of food truck, guys?
"Yeah, I eat off the food truck." Is that not proper? Is
It
that
just
did
sounded like
say
you eat off of a
guys.
guy
in the
that
food
owns
truck?
a food truck.
Well, I mean, I don't know how much that costs, but
Is that like
in
the?
Fort Worth,
Is that like in
it might be a little
Japan whenever you
cheaper.
have
Yeah.
the sushi? Off the,
But yeah, no, I think that more of them are looking for that opportunity because we've got a lot of businesses opening up, and I know similar to like Alex and me would be, we don't do food at Turning Point, so we don't necessarily want to deal with all that, but we know it's a part of life that we need, and yeah, they having a permanent thing where you're able to do that, and that's more in a bar aspect, not necessarily brewery. But I've seen it work with some breweries. But a lot of the new food trucks are really honing in on, let me park my thing, because I'm sure you guys have to store your truck. That's a cost.
Yeah, that's
or
a
a
big.
fee.
That's our next. That's what we've been discussing recently. Is the next pivot. What do we do next? Because there's only so many places to go with as many food trucks as there are.
There's a ton.
There's a limited. Even though with all the events there's a ton of food trucks, and so you're
Mhm.
still limited in where you can go and how many good events that you can get and all that kind of stuff. And so the next pivot that we've been talking about is the static location, because with a static location, the pros of the static location is you can pay for advertising and stuff. If you have a consistent spot where you're going to be, people expect you to be there. People know you're going to be
Right.
there.
You can build the following
You
you're
build
talking
the
about, right?
following, and then you try to drive traffic to yourself with, paid advertising and marketing stuff through Yelp and through social media, whatever.
if you guys had a standalone, would you keep the food truck also?
Yeah, we've talked about that. If we had a brick and
It's
mortar,
kind of nice to have both. Like it gives you a lot of versatility.
because
I
if
feel
somebody does want to do some sort of catering event, we just load up the trailer and take it out. So that was what
That's
we
cool.
talked about, is keeping it even if we had a brick and mortar,
yeah,
just to do catering stuff.
Yeah, it's definitely something that you want to grow into. Like, the demand is so much that we'll necessarily say, "Do we have to do this?" Right?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's one of those where you want to know that the following is there for it. If you're able to get like a residency at, an up and coming bar, where you're there 7 days a week, no doubt. No liability on your end. You're doing what you need to do. If that place goes belly up,
We're
the
screwed.
beauty of that is you benefit from the fact that you're mobile.
Yeah. We can
right.
So
You're not
pack it up.
completely
Now your
tied to it.
followers, because once people have had it, they're like, "Oh, where are you going to be next?"
Yeah.
Like, follow us on social media. We'll tell you where going to pop up next.
Yep.
So yeah, it's just one of those.
Yeah,
Interesting.
that's cool. And I mean, I know JP and I talk all the time about how how much time you end up putting into the business whenever like you're invested into it, and it's not just you, but it's your whole family.
Yep.
Justin has 4 children, a wife, and everybody kind of helps out.
Yep.
What has been kind of the biggest positives and negatives to having such a tight-knit family that is also helping run the business
There's lots of benefits to that. I mean, teaching the kids
outside of free labor?
Yeah, I do pay them a small way, a very small.
Don't tell them what a
wage.
minimum wage is.
They get a Christmas present.
If they're good.
They're good.
Yeah, we get to buy food. That's your
Santa
present.
owns the food truck. Jeez.
No, they
Socks?
teaching them entrepreneurship and the idea that what you put in is what you get out. Like those are all very beneficial lessons that they can learn, and just seeing the amount of work that it takes to do all the stuff to keep it running. And my daughter especially, she's way smarter than the boys, but she's like,
Yeah, it's true.
she'll just come up and hug me, and she's like, thank you so much for all of the work that you do to keep us fed and clothed and keep a roof over our head. I was like, oh, thank you so much.
Meanwhile, the boys are like, is there any more cereal in the
Yeah.
back?
I've only had 9 bowls,
Yeah.
Dad.
It's breakfast. What do you expect? Starving.
Too good.
No, I'm sure they're learning lessons. They just don't tell me.
Guys usually typically aren't the ones to like gush or say
No,
anything.
certainly
We
not.
just take it in
No.
stride.
But just teaching them the responsibility to, if they have a commitment, they need to keep that commitment.
Yeah.
You can't just bail because your friend wanted you to come go to the lake or whatever. you know.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like you're working on the food truck today. Oh, well, little Johnny down the road wanted to go do this. Like, nope, you tell him no because you're working.
Yeah.
So all those are good lessons to learn, and they've, for the most part, been really good about it.
Oh, that's
So,
cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's really good lessons to teach them too. Like, hey, we all got to work,
Yeah.
and if you don't show up, then you don't get to eat.
you don't
You don't-
work,
you
you
don't
starve.
Yeah.
No,
That's
that's
so
cool. So, wow, took a real
You
turn.
don't work, you don't eat.
Um,
Hey.
how do you feel about Gene Hackman and his wife and dog dying today?
It's probably the Illuminati. I'm just kidding.
They always get the good ones.
Was he in the birdcage?
No, Robin Williams.
It's not Gene Hackman.
I don't know. Maybe.
What was crazy to me is that he was 95 or
Yeah,
something. I had
95.
no
Yeah,
idea.
and
Yeah,
his
yeah.
wife was
Old.
63.
Yeah, heck yeah, dude. Way to go.
Nice.
Living a good life.
Nice.
The Hackman.
The Hack
And
Man.
a dog.
Peace.
What's the
Lex
dog?
Luthor, the original Lex Luthor in
Yeah.
film. He's great.
I can't believe it. It's very sad.
Royal Tenenbaums.
So
That's
have
a
you
good one.
guys done, your one thing I was thinking about when Alex told me we were going to record with you was just a little bit about like, I know your business. One thing, you're a Bedford business, right?
Correct.
Have you done anything with the city of Bedford as far as the we've got the Blues Fest that we do
Mhm.
annually, a ton of different things that happen at Generations. Is that what Generations Park?
Generation Park.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boys
There's
Ranch.
3. I think there's
Boys Ranch,
3
Boys
big
Ranch.
ones every year. It's the 4th of July.
Have you done any?
Haven't done any of those yet. 4th
Has
of
that
July
just been
was
cost prohibitive?
No, it was they booked so early. We weren't. That's more just kind of learning how all this works. You'd think 4th of July. You don't think
Hit 'em
about
up on the
booking that in
3rd.
February or something. So
They booked it last year.
yeah, it's
there any
pretty
spots?
crazy. So
For tomorrow?
yeah,
No.
we just missed out.
Tomorrow.
It was a
You're
timing
lucky I
issue.
responded. No.
You're welcome.
Simple answer is no, sir.
No, we haven't done anything with the city specifically yet, but we're working on it.
I
We're
think-
trying to get in with their 4th of July this year.
I think that's something that would kind of add to your Taco Bomb's identity. You're
Bedford.
Bedford. And what we've got, I mean, we've got a lot of things brewing over here, no pun intended,
You
for
can smell that?
Bedford. But, like next door to us, hey, it's no longer a church.
Right. They got all that demo done
It's
this week.
about to be
Pickleball.
pickleball.
Dude, people love some pickleball.
I guess so. I have nothing.
I-
I
I've
don't
never
know
played.
anything about it.
You don't
No.
like pickles,
Nope.
but
Hate balls.
oh,
Unless they're
That's a lie.
talking.
That's a lie. We all know that's a lie.
Damn it.
yeah, I was waiting.
Damn it. I forget. I got to do this with strangers.
Have you
more
have you ever
often.
played pickleball?
No.
Me neither.
Have you ever had 4 Johnny Karates and played pickleball?
Oh my gosh.
I've done one of those things.
It's just full size
Perfect
ping
answer.
pong.
Are you here to tell me that at one point in time I drank 4 Giant Karai's and I played pickleball and I have no recollection of that?
Not that I can recall.
Okay.
No, not that I can recall. But yeah, no, I mean, with this, the way the landscape of the city's changing, they're putting a lot into trying to promote small business, bring in small business where we know we need it. Every municipality needs it. So we've got those opportunities. Yeah, no, I think it's important for one thing I don't know about taco bombs when I look at the truck.
We're Bedford.
You're Bedford, man.
So you just slap a big ol'.
It sounds so much more exotic to me.
We should be like NASCAR, and they'll pay us, they'll sponsor us to put a Bedford sticker on the truck.
It's funny you mentioned NASCAR.
We're in discussions to sponsor a NASCAR.
No,
Yeah.
y'all are full of it.
And we want to write the script for it. We want this to be the baddest
We're gonna
boy.
need ad reads.
We
There's
want
no way.
we want that suit to be turned into jorts.
Is it because
Because
of
our
the,
driver doesn't care about this half of his
Is it
leg?
because
He's
of the
in
mic?
last place.
It's
He's
because
in
of the
last
mic
place.
covers, isn't it?
What?
It's because of the mic, the pop covers.
Oh, you would guess
Vroom,
this.
vroom.
You would guess this, and this is his color scheme. If you can guess the driver, but
The
yeah,
deal is done.
look, we missed out on Daytona, but that was obviously our biggest exposure.
That would have
we
been
could
our
had.
opus.
But I think that what we said earlier, this could be our Wrexham.
Yeah.
Just call up Ryan Reynolds.
No.
Alex has always compared himself to Ryan Reynolds. He calls himself.
I see
Alex
the
Reynolds.
resemblance.
I'm a foot shorter. I have about 18% more body fat.
And I'm Beverly D'Angelo. Is that the guy from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia?
You ought to try to sponsor Dale Earnhardt. I hear he's accepting.
Just a seatbelt.
Just
Oh, damn. Cold blooded.
mark that.
Oh, damn.
He's dead, by the way. I don't know if
Yeah,
We're
his son
aware.
is thriving though. His son is
I thought he retired too, didn't he?
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Why would you not?
I don't really
If I was
follow
Dale Earnhardt's son,
NASCAR. I have no. Is Jeff Gordon still in the game?
I think he's a commentator or something now.
Danica Patrick, how's she doing?
I think she still drives. Yeah,
Okay.
I think
She
she's
still
I
work
think
for
she's still on
GoDaddy?
there. I think she's still going.
I hope so. I didn't see any of those commercials at the
Yeah,
Super Bowl.
no, a lot of seal,
A
which
lot
is-
of seal.
which is cool for Turning Point
I love
because of
Seal.
Seal.
my power,
My
Mhm.
power.
My,
my
pleasure,
pleasure,
my,
my
pain,
pain,
baby.
Yeah, no, that was
That
cool.
beer's
That's
coming
Seal.
back. I got it on the schedule.
Oh, yeah.
I just did the
Too
schedule
good.
yesterday.
It's too good. So
It's too good.
yeah, no, I definitely think you should partner with the city a little more. I think that would just kind of hopefully help mass exposure. I think
Yeah.
that's like when you guys did the downtown Fort Worth
Arts Festival.
Arts Fest. Like,
We're doing
that's
that again this year.
great exposure, man.
We're back at the Main Street Arts Festival.
It's like the band aid.
When is that?
April 10th through the 13th, I think.
Okay, cool. Any other big promotions that you want to do?
We are going to a food truck competition in Waco. I still have to post that. That's a big one.
Whoa,
When is it?
Tell me about that.
So there's a competition section of this event that's like 2 hours long or whatever, and you only serve your competition item, which for us will be the ball.
Right.
Ooh.
And then after that, they open it up. You can serve whatever, and then they'll judge. I think.
While that's going on.
Yeah, and I can't remember the specifics if it's based on tickets because it's a ticketed thing where they give you a ticket for your item.
How many food trucks are going to be competing?
It's a lot. I'm
Yeah.
not sure exactly.
Do you know when it is?
April 5th
Okay, so
Oh,
it'll be
yeah.
right after this comes out in Waco.
in Waco.
We're at in Waco. You know,
Not sure. It's not at
it's only 2
Baylor.
hours away.
Yeah, I don't know. I have an address. I just haven't looked it up.
Okay, well that's cool.
We're very excited about that. That's gonna be a big one. So I'm only gonna have to make about 1,500 balls for April, so that'll be good.
That sounds pretty easy.
Is it rain or shine?
I don't
Yeah,
know. We've already
April.
paid for it, so hopefully
Hopefully-
it's shine.
I'm saying if it's rain or shine, They can't cancel it. If you happen to get there and you're the only one,
Hey,
they
there you
have to
go.
give you, right?
We
Yeah.
win.
So you already got first
We
place.
we win.
Right now, according if it's raining that
We
day,
were the best one. You were the only one.
there's a tornado.
You were
But-
also the worst one. We don't talk about that. We don't talk
No,
about
hey.
that.
He's the only one who showed up.
One of one.
Yeah, nice. But that's a cool deal. Are you guys gonna do more of that competitive side?
There's only a handful of those competitions that happen every year. There's a couple in Texas that I know of. There's one in Oklahoma that I've seen people go to, but we haven't done any of those yet. So I do want to try to get into some of those.
Can you take
out
the balls?
competition.
Can you take the balls over state lines?
I think we got to check with Homeland to make sure, but
Hold on. They said you're okay.
So many
Talking
thoughts running through my head right now. Just
Yeah,
keep
it should
those
be
to
fine.
myself.
That's pretty cool.
That's cool, man. So if somebody wanted to open up a food truck, what would be kind of your the biggest thing that you've taken away to give as advice?
You have to be unique and special in what you do specifically, but don't niche down too hard that you pigeonhole yourself into very specific events. Like you don't want to be
Would you compare that to being like a very heavy hazy IPA brewery?
no.
Oh, okay. Cool.
No.
Just making sure.
That's why
we can still do quinceañeras though.
There you
So,
go.
Yeah. That's
No,
all he
yeah,
has. That's all he has.
You gotta have something that sets you apart, that is different. You can't just be like everybody else because then you just get lost.
right.
So you have to be unique, but not so unique that you can't go out any day of the week and serve your stuff.
Right.
any
Yeah.
time. So it's got to be
You can almost be too unique in the sense that nobody like you're having to over explain your dish.
Yeah.
Where everyone's like, wait, what did you
what is this? Yeah. Or if you're like we do eggs Benedict. It's like, okay, well that works a little bit.
I don't know if I call this a full-time gig.
Yeah,
but
exactly. So
yeah.
you don't niche down too hard.
Yeah, that makes
Yeah.
sense.
that makes sense. And I mean, I think that makes sense off of y'all's business model too, like going from the taco ball to doing street tacos, which I mean, they're all really, really good, but even as a consumer, I remember whenever you guys were doing pop-ups and it was just balls and it was like 4 different balls, the amount of time the line would take just explaining what you're here to do.
What's a taco ball? You
And
have to
which
answer
is
that
fine. It's a
100
brand
times
new
a day.
thing. Like that's awesome. Like get the customer experience and the knowledge and all of that. And I'm sure you guys still have to do that all the
Oh, yeah.
time.
Oh, yeah.
But whenever you don't have something that's like everybody knows what a taco is.
Right.
Whenever you don't have that option, it's just like, well, what else do you have? It's like, well, chips and queso, which
Yeah.
is awesome. But I think it was a good idea switching to doing a taco bomb or taco ball and tacos just so you're not explaining half of the sell away.
Yep.
Do you have like a one-liner that you use when someone asks, like, "Hey, what's a taco bomb?" They have
It's
like a quick.
Yeah, it's ground beef, caramelized onions, Mexican blend cheese, rolled into a ball, battered and fried. That's what
Oh.
we say.
You don't just say it's the bomb.
No, God, no.
Damn, you should be
That could be
saying
good.
Yeah. I don't know. It's the bomb.
I think we come up
Because if
with
you
a
told
new
me that and I was still
catchphrase.
interested, I'd be like, well, fuck, now I got this guy is not laying down. He's not
What's-
even trying to tell me.
What's a
about
taco ball? Well, imagine a taco,
Well, again,
and then it's in a ball.
the amount of people that
That's my one-liner.
it. Yeah.
the
that-
amount of
that's
people
pretty
that
good.
don't cook and don't understand anything about cooking or food preparation, they still don't get it. You know, like they're like, all right, well, do you have any sandwiches? You know, it's like, come on, dude. Like, we explain it. It doesn't matter. It just goes over people's heads. They have no
Soup?
idea.
Is there a soup
Yeah.
that I can
You guys
get
got
in?
French fries?
Taco bomb soup. Oh, man. That'd be
It's-
so good.
Ooh.
It'd be great.
It'd be like
do that.
masa ball. That'd
3
be
bombs
awesome.
in queso.
You know what? I'm back in. I'm back in. This sounds great.
Really brings me back to Mexico.
You got any soup?
You know?
Dude, I went to a like Mexican restaurant a few weeks ago, and obviously it's kind of like going to a brewery and it's like, okay, the first thing I'm going to try is some sort of lager to figure out the quality of the place. And this was a more like upscale kind of
Yeah.
deal over on West 7th Street. And the guy tells us like, yeah, it's very authentic Mexican food. And obviously I'm sitting there like, I'm from Texas, okay? I know exactly what you're talking about. I'll take a bowl, and like my gauge at a new Mexican food place is queso, obviously. And so, I know what Mexican food is. I'll have your finest bowl of chips and queso. He goes, dude, that's Tex-Mex. That's not Mexican. Like,
Yeah,
we
we
don't do that here. And I was just like, well, I'll shut up and I'll just eat whatever you want to bring me then. Perfect.
They just bring you a stack of craft singles.
Yeah, here you go,
I guess you
jackass.
can put those on the chip. I really don't. Is that what you want? Is a bucket of cheese?
And I'll say the food, delicious. Very much let down that they didn't have queso.
Yeah.
Sucker for queso. That's
you gave
my
one
favorite
star.
part.
Didn't have queso.
Yeah.
Enjoyed
you have
the
margaritas though.
enjoyed
Weird.
the shit out of the food.
Yeah,
but,
make me look like an idiot. You have margaritas and salsa, huh?
Damn.
The place was really good though. Highly
Place is
recommend it.
Place is good.
Nice. Well, most
Don
people that,
Artemo's.
Yeah,
most
place
people
is
that
good.
see street taco, like they don't even read the menu. They just go, okay, so you do like some meat and some onions and cilantro.
Yeah, taco.
and some salsa. I'm just like,
You know what? Could you put that on a tortilla?
I'm like we do that. We do exactly what is on the menu. If you would like to turn your eyes over here to this menu,
See all the ingredients? We can mix that up any way you want to.
it'll tell you everything that we serve right there on the menu.
Do you guys also offer like? Sorry. Go ahead. Do you guys also offer like bowl options? Like if I didn't. Okay, I didn't know.
People
And you
do
guys
that
have
all
like
the
a
time.
vegetarian one now too, right?
Yeah, we got a vegetarian. one.
Nice.
But yeah, people come up all the time not wanting a tortilla, and so I'll just throw in a little cup for them.
There you go.
Are you guys working on any new additions to the menu that you guys have just seen? Either
We've got so many that we've done over the years that we don't bring back just because they are time consuming or too expensive to make.
they sold
a
too
large
well, and you're like, it's
quantity.
going to take me an extra 20
We've
minutes
done
to
a
make.
pork belly one, and that takes a long time to make. We've done.
But the response was very positive.
oh yeah, people loved it. It's a pain for us
That's
to do.
cool.
So that balance
So
between
you only want to sell the easy things.
yeah, well that's
Same,
part
dude.
of it.
Let's go.
That's part of it. There's a balance between
Man.
the cost and the amount of time that it takes to make.
Okay, so
And then the
you're,
return.
more saying cost.
Yeah, it's just it's cost, whether it's time or actual like money spent to buy the meat
Full-time
and
job?
whatever.
Your full-time job is Taco Bombs, right?
Yeah.
It has been since you guys started, right?
I've been doing Taco Bombs full time for 2 years. Yeah.
Damn. Okay.
You guys started like what, the end of 22, beginning of 23?
Yeah.
Damn.
It was like February 23 when I started doing Taco Bombs full time.
Okay. Yeah, and I mean, I know that like they always say in business, like the first, 3 years or whatever, you find out the most about your business.
Mhm.
Oh, that's
Which
for sure.
I found to be exceptionally true. And even now that we're going on 7 years next month, I feel like we're changing things all the time. Like I'm just
Yeah.
now starting to get really happy with how our IPAs are and all that. But like what is something that you keep coming back to like day in and day out that makes you want to, I guess, experiment or just improve upon? Where's your mindset on that?
I love experimenting. I wish we could do more.
I knew it.
It j-
Loaded question.
4 kids, I knew it.
I wish that we could do more. It's just the time, we end up getting overwhelmed with events and prepping for all of these events. And our events are just getting bigger, which is great, but that just means more time prepping. And so the amount of time, and then, obviously all the business stuff gets pushed aside until I
Right.
can't do it, until I can't put it off anymore.
What does it look like for Taco Bombs? Wheels off. Running, you guys are out of food every time you serve. You set up. So I'm assuming 7 days a week. Is that the point where you guys will look to open like a brick and mortar?
It wouldn't even be that much.
I mean, how do you guys prepare yourself mentally for, Same thing
An
I could ask
onslaught.
you would be,
Yeah.
There's no beer on the wall. You have 30 taps.
Mm.
They're all empty. You just can't keep up. It's-
And the hard part about that with beer and with doing the food truck is it's not like you can make it now and serve it in 5 minutes.
Exactly.
Like with,
right.
with beer,
Well,
it's like 2-3 weeks. With these deals,
Not
it's
for
a whole
quality.
day, 2 days to get everything going. Like you can't just be like, well, I'm out. Give me 30 seconds.
Yep.
No problem.
We had to do that we worked 2 events at an Amazon fulfillment center, and it was 500 people each time, and they were like 4 days apart. I was like, good thing it was around 4 days apart. And I was like, good thing, because that first one, I mean, we were wiped out.
And so you're like,
And so I had
no
to just-
other.
Yeah, I had to just make everything again, all the stuff. And
Which is great, though. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
it's great.
what you want.
those were our biggest events ever. It's awesome. But
Yeah, if only you could do those twice a week. That'd be great.
I wouldn't have to do anything else. just do that.
Amazon, come on. Mr.
got enough-
Bezos.
Got enough
Unofficial
locations.
sponsor.
Come on, man. No, you have to always be looking ahead at what's coming up, because we're planning out how much of whatever do I have to make every day to get to this event, to make sure we have enough for the next 2 weeks or whatever. It's the same thing with you guys planning beers out months in
Yeah.
advance. We do the same thing. It's just a lot of planning and preparation and time management to make it all work.
Right.
Because
Makes
if you
sense.
fall down on the job, then you're screwed and you have no food and you can't do an event. And that's
Well, and you're old now,
That's
so
game
you'll hurt your
over.
hip if you fall.
me.
Yeah.
I'm old.
Yeah.
You're so fucking old, dude.
so old.
You old
Old
bitch.
bastard.
What was your last birthday, Jake?
31. What are you
Hey,
talking
we're not talking about him.
about? Started graying when I was 3.
Didn't
Stop.
you hear?
Stop bringing that up, Justin.
He's going Benjamin Button
Yeah.
style. He's going
I
backwards,
feel
dog.
good.
Got that salt and pepper.
Yeah, we're just gonna get old and fat and gross.
Because I have a lot
He
of
looks
salt and
fantastic.
pepper in my diet. Okay.
Yeah, that's how it works. We can tell that chips and queso.
it is. It is a lot
I'm-
of chips and
I'm
queso.
basically like 4%
Yeah,
chips and
I
queso.
love chips and queso.
That's all I'm making some tonight. That's all I'm thinking
I do love
about
your
right
guys'
now.
chips and queso. I think you guys make a good.
You guys
queso.
do, yeah.
We get a lot of compliments on the queso for sure.
Yeah. Do you want to tell people where they can find you and hit you up if they have private?
Yeah, I
events
mean,
or
we've
anything?
got a Facebook and a Instagram. It's probably the best places. We've got our website, tacobombs.com.
Is your Instagram just at Taco Bombs?
I think it's taco.bombs, but we're pretty easy to find. We're the only taco bombs on Instagram that I'm aware of.
Got any more questions?
No. I think
Anything
I
else
think
to
it's been
add?
Great, man.
Because I think we just about did
Yeah.
it.
No, I think it's been
Works
good,
for
man.
me. Thank
I think
you
we
for
done
having
did
me.
it. Yeah, buddy. I love you.
I love you. I love you both.
I love you. I love you. Thanks for doing this, man.
Of course.
All
Awesome.
right.